Assembly. This is a great little puzzle game by Wren Games, and I wanted to show you the app they've put together and how the game works if you haven't had a chance to see it. This is Legendary Tactics. So I'm going to give this game a go at the standard level of play. I've only had a chance to play it a few times thus far, and I have to say the tutorial, it's a little bit hard to get your head around when you first read it. They're talking about things like modules and bays and this sort of thing. I was luckily familiar with the game, having watched a few videos online, and so I knew a little bit about how it was supposed to work. But I found the tutorial walkthrough to be a little bit of a challenge. But once you get into the game, once you actually start playing it, it all begins to make sense. The game at its heart is quite simple, but in many ways quite elegant. And I think it's worth giving it a try and, just maybe disregard the tutorial a little bit and maybe pick up the rules online somehow. So basically, the idea is that you need to get the tokens, which are like the little lozenge-like thing at the bottom of the circle there, and they all have symbols on them that match the cards. At the bottom of the cards, you can see the symbols like the gear and the leaf and the security camera and that sort of thing. And the idea is that you're trying to match the tokens through the use of these cards, and you can see the deck of cards there. That essentially works as the timer of the game, where you have three decks that you can play through, two reshuffles, and you're using the different cards to basically either rotate the tokens around or switch them around in order for them to match up. The idea is that I like this. They actually did a little oxygen sensor thing on the side. The concept is kind of sci-fi, where you have a ship that's losing air. You're trying to solve this puzzle before the oxygen runs out, and that's what that oxygen meter is on the left. Your card also has a special ability. You've got in this case, when executing a lock command, you can also do a deploy action. So that'll come in handy, I'm sure. The sci-fi theme is, again, you're trying to lock down your rocket ship, which is losing air. You've only got so much time. And the way you do that is by matching these tokens, the symbols on these tokens, to the cards that are the linked to them. So then once that happens, you're allowed to lock down that particular card, and then you move on to try and lock down the rest of them. And that one that's locked down leaves play, essentially. You have these cards here. Now, my hand in this case is not a great opening hand. You can see the cards have arrows on them. This allows the tokens to rotate clockwise. The other one that's similar to it with the green, that allows things to go either counterclockwise or clockwise, and the yellow card there allows switching of tokens. So I don't have any tokens yet on the board, so it really doesn't matter which card I play. They're not going to be very effective. But luckily I pick up a card here, which is, you can see it's either add a token or lock down a bay or two. And so I'm going to use that to add a token, and I add a bed. Now the bed, if you look, is on that white card at the bottom of it, but you can see the bed is actually at 6 o'clock, so it's not actually going to benefit me yet until I can get that token over to that card and then lock it down. So I've only got rotation cards. The rotation card, the other yellow cards are for switching tokens, but since there's only one on the board, not much point in doing that. So I'm just going to rotate the token around, get it to a point where it is a little bit closer to the goal. So I'll do that by shifting it a couple spaces. You can do either one or two spaces when you rotate. Now the deck is a timer, and every time you run out of cards there, luckily I got the security camera token. Every time the cards run out, then you have to reshuffle them, but you also have to mix up the cards that don't have a token on them. So it can be a bit disruptive. If you got to kind of keep an eye on how many cards you have left in the deck, because if you are getting close to the bottom, you may want to plan accordingly, just in case the layout shifts around on you. So right now, early game, my focus is just getting as many tokens on the board as possible. I want to make sure that I'm, I have as much to work with as possible, so I know exactly where things are, and then I can kind of plan things out. So in general, that's my plan. With the yellow card, I can swap the security camera with the bed. And the bed, I mean, I've gotten the bed as far around to 6 o'clock as possible, so I don't know if it makes sense to switch at the moment that way, but I mean, it can be good too, because if you can lock one down, it might be worth it. And given the cards that I have, I think, yeah, you know what, I'll just do this and I'll figure out something later. As far as that goes, let's lock down the security camera, and then it's essentially, don't need to worry about it anymore after that. The app itself is a pretty smooth interface. As I said, once you get past the tutorial, which I found a bit challenging, the gameplay is actually really smooth. And once you figure out, how it's working, you can see it's actually a great design. The again, I knew I was running out of cards, so that's why I decided to lock down the security camera while I could, because the bed token was not going to get to the bed card in time. So as it turned out, it's actually still 2 away. It's just at the 11 o'clock position instead of the 6, and so that's no problem. Again, just looking to get as many tokens out as possible. So I can know what I'm working with, because you do hit a drought sometimes where you don't have that red card that allows you to get a token out. So you may as well smoke them while you got them. Right, looking at things right now, there's no sort of obvious switch around that works, so I'll just do a rotate. And if I'm not mistaken, this should help out in the sense that the satellite thing at the top, the green token and the pinkish beige token at the bottom, now are on opposite, they're on each other's cards. So that's perfectly set up. I can play the yellow card, switch them around, and I happen to pick up a red card next, so that allows me to lock those two in. So I'll swap these two around and then play the next card and lock them down, and that takes them out of the game. All right, so now I'm working with the rocket ship. It's just 1 away from where it should be. The leaf is 1 away from where it should be, so I think this is a good opportunity to rotate 1 step clockwise, and then I can play that other red card and lock them down. I have to watch the deck running out. The deck is going to be exhausted soon, which is going to mean a reshuffle, so I want to do this before that happens. And so we'll do just that, and then with the next card, we're going to lock those two down, and I think we're in pretty good shape. Just need more tokens out. That's the only thing that's holding me back. So I'm going to use my special ability, and which is basically, since I played a lock down, I can then also deploy a token and get another token out there, which is going to be good. Again, just making sure I know what I'm working with now. So I still have a few tokens left to draw, though, so I'm going to have to really focus on that. We've got 4 cards which don't have tokens on them yet, so we're going to make sure to do that. And we're going to hit the reshuffle now, so we'll get another token out and then hit the reshuffle, and hopefully we get some luck on that front. And actually we kind of do, because the rotation actually looks pretty good. We've got, if we rotate 1 clockwise, the purple token's going to go to the red cross, and the blue token's going to go to its matching card at 11 o'clock. So that's pretty good. And then we can worry about the white and the token and the bed token later. So we'll just do a rotation, just 1 step clockwise. And there's the lockdown card, which is great. The third card in my hand there on the far side is a wild card. You get that at the beginning of the second reshuffle, and then that gives you the ability to choose what you need. And I'm going to keep that in hand as long as I can, just to make sure that I'm staying flexible as possible here. So we have the white one there that's ready to be locked down. So I don't think I want to rotate at the moment, because that's going to throw things off. So again, I just need more tokens out. This is the one thing, as I'm running close to, as I'm in the 3rd deck, I still have to get a couple of the tokens out. or I think they're called the modules. I keep calling them tokens. But I do have 7 cards in the final deck, so I feel like I'm in pretty good stead. I'm gonna choose the wild card effect to basically lock down that one, the white one, and then let's take a look. And now that the bays are locked, you can see that the red cross, even though it's shifting from the 7 o'clock to the 1 o'clock position, it's only 2 spaces. And actually, as it works out, just perfect, because purple, the wheel there is the gear is 2 spaces away from, even though they're 5 o'clock going to 9 o'clock, it's only 2 spaces. So rotating them clockwise is good. Just so the rotation moves the tokens, it doesn't shift the cards. So it took a little while for me to kind of figure out what it was trying to do there, but once you figure out how to read the purple and the green rotation, then it works fine. This will basically just be a burned card because I don't have the tokens out that I need. I'm getting close to the end, but we've only got 2 to lock down, and I've already got the yellow card that will allow me to switch them. So we are good to go. And there's the final red card that I need. So it's just going to be yellow, swap them, and the red card to lock them down. Last card of the game, but managed to pull out a victory. So anyway, so this is just a demonstration of assembly and the app that they put together. And I thought it was very smoothly implemented. There's no issues, in gameplay. It's very smooth. You can play a game fairly quickly, sort of 10 minutes, maybe faster if you're sharper at it than I am. But overall, it's a fun little game, and I recommend it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you will please like and subscribe. I'm Nato with Legendary Tactics, and thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again next time. Take care.